Alright, guys keep tagging me about this whole Eric thing. Because I like Eric. He's a friend of mine, and he's going to continue to be a friend of mine. Will he probably be in my corner? Probably not. We have so many great guys at Extreme, Nate, Ray Cepho. We have so many savages that I would love to corner me. But, you know, man, that entire fight camp was just a struggle. Like, it was a struggle. And, guys, we all have excuses as to why we didn't win or why we won and we shouldn't have won. We all have excuses, and they don't matter. The only reason why I'm making this video is because Eric had to go do a podcast and become an influencer. So now I got to, like, all right, kind of explain myself.
Oh, it was just uninspired fighting to me. It just seemed like he was sleepwalking, you know? Yeah, it was tough, man. I was just trying to dig him out of it. You know, through the rounds, I didn't know if he was trying to collect data in the beginning or if it was just a slow start or what was going on. But, you know, as the rounds began to progress, I can just tell that it just didn't feel like he was in it the way most of the times that he is. So, yeah, it was tough, man. It was tough 25 minutes to travel all the way out there. You know, and like, man, let's not forget this is a title fight, and I take these title fights very seriously, and you know, just I don't know, I was just disappointed, man. I was disappointed with the whole entire outcome, the whole fight as a process. Just thought it was just kind of flat.
Were you expecting that? Was there any part of you that thought this might happen?
No, I really didn't. I didn't. Like, just Sydney's good vibes, good juju, you know, everything that went on out there last time with Israel, I thought it was like the place to be. I was very happy about that situation, getting back out there to fight. And getting the rematch with Dricus. You know, I think there was things that you know, we worked on all camp that were better than the last time around. We had a feel of what Dricus was going to implement. You know, so I was very excited for it, man. I was so just for that type of performance, it was just very underwhelming.
There was some talk about his arm and whether that was a staph infection. A, what can you tell us about the arm? And B, do you think that affected him in any way?
You know, it certainly doesn't help, but yeah, he had staph a couple weeks prior to us leaving. He was on antibiotics, but no, I mean, he looked great leading up to the last like week and a half of training. You know, traveled out there, his cardio felt fine, everything felt fine. So, you know, of course, getting staph that at any point doesn't help the situation. It's not ideal, but that's to me not the reason why he felt flat.
So obviously in the aftermath, there's been a lot of criticism thrown his way, in large part because he's such a boisterous and kind of outspoken, outlandish personality. But he also, you know, not just when talking about regular stuff, if you want to call it regular stuff, politics and all this stuff, he says things like he's going to fight to the death. And obviously that's not really what we saw on Saturday. Do you think that the criticism is warranted? Do you think that it has been fair?
Yeah, of course. I do. I do. I mean, we have to be real. Like, it just was a very underwhelming performance in an opportunity to fight for a title. You know, there's people in this sport that never even realize that potential to ever even be an opportunity to fight for a championship. That should be enough to get you motivated, to get you off the couch. So, you know, it just to me was we didn't perform. You know, so it's on all of us. It's on me as a coaching staff. It's on John and you know, I think he needs to evaluate what he wants to do in the sport. If it's just to make money, then that's great. Let us know. You know, I want to coach world champions. So my motivations are different, you know. So I think that, you know, just to kind of show up and do that and you know, not really back it up, just to me was just kind of uninspiring. So you have to take risks. You have to make something creative happen. You know, and just jabbing and teeping your way to a comeback win wasn't there. So it's like, dude, find the same side head kick, throw some knees up the middle, so throw something different that's not predictable to what Dricus has seen for the last 9 rounds. You know, so we have to mix it up.
Opportunity, and not just with fighting. Opportunity never comes when it's supposed to. It doesn't matter what the circumstances, what the situation is. You will never wake up and say, no, today is the perfect day for opportunity. It will come at the worst time. It will come at the worst time. And how many times it comes and you raise your hand and you say, you know what, like, I'm ready. A lot of times you fail. A lot of the times you fail, but a lot of times you don't fail. And it's like, you must say yes. This is not an excuse, but that entire camp was just a struggle of I'm good. Knowing you're not good. I was in Colombia like 7 weeks out, and getting stem cells on a broken bone. Again, bone healed fine, not an excuse. It just kind of weighs in the back of your head. I was training with that Ritter guy, the submission guy, and he hit me with a whizzer. It was already broken. And dude, I thought my arm snapped. It's like, I got to go to Colombia. Like, this is fucked. But all camp, this is just in the back of your head. And like, you just keep telling yourself, I'm fucking good. And I think this is just what all men do. Like, all men do this. Like, you look in the mirror and like, even though you know you're not good, you're like, I'm fucking good, dude. You're a fucking man. You sack up. But all camp, dude, whether it be, the staph infection, the broken arm, the having to get a visa that didn't get approved until a week, not being able to get cornermen out there. This entire camp was like a struggle of I'm not good, but me looking in the mirror and saying sack up. And man, no, nothing away from Dricus. He came there, fought his ass off, fucking broke my nose. Like, dude, hell yeah, man. Like, hats off. Did you felt like a fucking man? But, you guys, I don't fight to put belts on the wall. I don't fight because, Eric wants to go do a fucking fancy podcast. That's not why I fight. Before fighting, you guys, I had like the lowest self-esteem. Couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. Like, I didn't even know what like dignity was, when I first started fighting. And kind of through fighting, man, like I've learned like so much. I've met so many amazing people through the UFC and fighting and fight fans. Like, you guys have changed my life. Like, you've made me grow so much as a person in the ring and out of the ring, and that's why I fight. I love it. I got a lot of fights left on my contract. I love fighting. I'm going back to the gym. I'm working my ass off, and I'm starting from square one. And that's just kind of how life is, dude. Like, you always get a step back where you're like, all right, well, I got to start over again. And you have a choice. You either sack up and you do it, or you quit. And I'm going to sack up and do it. And you know what? Fuck you guys. I broke my nose like 3 times in that round. And every single time, I didn't quit. I didn't go sit on the stool and say, hey, my nose is broken. I can't fight. I adjusted every time. And I thought, man, maybe I'll get lucky. Maybe I won't. But at the end of the day, dude, we all have a fucking story. And no one gives a fuck. I'm grateful for my life. I love my job. I love my fans. I support you guys just as much as you support me. Back in the gym, sack up, and on to the next.